way of finding out what some of the key initiatives are and answering that question, because I was a little confused about it.
Sorry. So I think it goes back to what was mentioned earlier in terms of resources. So you would do well to take a look at what the government priorities are. So not only do you look at the throne speech, the fall economic statement, the budget, you can also look at political party platforms. Again, these are useful instruments for telling you what the elected officials' priorities are going to be. In that regard, again, it goes back to making those linkages. You need to make it easy for people to see what you have to offer and how it's going to help them. So, for example, if you look at the kinds of skills and assets that you would acquire in university and build up, I don't know how one could get a degree without some kind of capacity for good critical analysis, for good time management skills. You have to be able to deliver the product at the given time. You have to be able to have some capacity for project management, whether you're working in a group or a team, or you're coordinating a campus event. You have to have some level of communication skills, and there's multiple levels of that, whether it's actually done in your tutorials or it's done in a different capacity in student leadership, all of those things. So if you're familiar with it in that case, I mean, one of the arguments I've made, so to speak, for education is that I've actually had exposure to the sector in various capacities. As a student, I briefly worked as an educator, and then later on, I worked as a policy advisor on policies for the education system. So there's multiple perspectives that I can bring to that. And that's part of what you're trying to share with people, is that I may not have it all yet, focus on what you do have, however, here's what I bring to the table. And if you can relay that to them, then it's easy for them to see. You take the guesswork out of it. What you're doing is you're saying, here I am, here's what I have to offer, I'm fabulous, how can we make this work? That's what you go there to do. And
it's worth repeating some of the resources that you mentioned again. Political party platforms, annual budgets, the website, and then you mentioned something about speeches. Could you just repeat that?
The throne speech. So there's different ways that government works, right? So, what the elected government makes the throne speech, and you see the LGIC, Lieutenant Governor, delivering that. And again, that just reiterates where they are in that larger plan for unfolding their priorities. But what I'm suggesting is, if nothing else, visit ontario.ca. It's going to tell you what's on the go. You're going to see wonderful paternal statements from the Premier, and connect the dots. Just focus on connecting the dots. And those are the kinds of things that are where they're going to set you apart.
And one thing I'd like to